Now the other thing I use, another lens that I use quite often on either camera, is surprisingly enough the Canon 50mm F1.8. Now remember when I said that you need a wide angle lens like 20mm and wider? Why am I shooting 50mm? Actually, we'll go into that later. I actually make large, massive panoramics with this lens. But the fact that it's an f1.8, it's a full stop faster than my Rockanaut. Now, with a longer focal length, your shutter speeds or the exposure time will have to decrease. And we'll go into that when I go over basic photography settings. But with the f1.8, I get far more advantage out of that than I do with a wider focal length on this lens and longer exposure lengths. But that's why I use this. It's actually a really good lens. Surprisingly enough, and this is a very, very, very cheap lens. As a matter of fact, it's called the Plastic Fantastic. And there's a reason why it's called that. It's plastic, but it takes great shots. Very crisp, clear lens. Especially for the price. Now, if you have a Canon, I would really recommend you go out and getting this lens. Really. And Nikon has a version of this as well. Now, I don't know what it's called, although Nikon is a 50mm and it's probably an f1.8 as well. But I would really, really recommend this lens, even for photographing the Milky Way. Now, being 50mm, you get up pretty close to the Milky Way. But again, you can really bring in details of our Milky Way. And ultimately what I use this for, and we will be getting into this later, not in this current course, but in a following course, about panoramics, and merging multiple photos into one massive photo. And I've done with this Milky Way shots of 15 photos and over 100 megapixels in size, 150 megapixels in size. But still, I highly recommend this lens. And this is actually a very commonly used lens by me.